Howdy! Welcome to another random parking lot here in Austin, Texas. Today I wanted to discuss service. So I recently had my truck in the Tesla service center here. I wanted to go through what the process was like, what the issues were, and if everything was resolved. I'm not like the most picky person in the world when it comes to like panel gaps and stuff like that. When you pay $100,000 for a vehicle, you want it to be in pretty good condition from delivery. So let's first talk about the appointment creation process. Something Tesla does really well is streamlining all of their processes. In this case, all we had to do was head to the Tesla app, head to the service section, create a new service visit, take some pictures and add some categories and notes, and there you go. Tesla now knows that you need to go into service. While that may be a really good experience, I will say it took about a month to a month and a half just to get my vehicle in for service. I think lack of parts availability is a big issue, especially with Cybertruck since it's so new. Now, getting a hold of Tesla is not super difficult. Once the service visit's created, you can actually go to the messaging section and you can actually talk directly to them. Now, like I said, I did have to wait a good amount of time to get my appointment. It was a little bit frustrating, and they even wanted to push me back another 2 weeks because there was one small part that was missing that honestly could have been done mobile. That being said, I did reach back out to them and expressed my concern, and they were able to keep my original appointment time. The appointment drop-off process is super simple. You head to the service center, and in my case for Tesla Ridgepoint, you actually drive into the building, and a service advisor comes out, talks with you, and goes over all of your concerns, and you drop the vehicle off. In my case, I did get a loaner, which honestly is to be expected when you're dropping off a brand new car for a bunch of issues. It was a Model S Plaid. Getting a Tesla loaner is honestly a magical experience. It's really cool. All you have to do is accept the loaner terms in your app, head to the car. They gave me a key card, but your Tesla profile actually transfers over to the car. So it remembers all of your settings, your locations, your favorites, even the seat positioning, which is really convenient and really cool. The car even shows up in your Tesla app just as if it was your own. The loaner process for Teslas is a magical experience and is better than anything I've ever seen when you can get a loaner. While I was in the loaner, I unfortunately did get a flat tire. I went through a pothole and the tire did not like it. So Teslas don't come with run flats or a spare tire. So in this case, I had to call roadside assistance, which was really easy. The process didn't take long. I just had to call their phone number. They had to ask a bunch of questions. The process took a little longer because it's not my car. The next morning, they came out to my house, replaced the tire at my house, and was done. It was a really simple and easy process. I haven't personally gotten a flat tire on my car yet, so this was my first time experiencing what it's like to get a flat tire in a Tesla, and honestly, 2 thumbs up. Super easy. Okay, let's get into everything that was wrong with my Cybertruck. It's a list. So I was missing one of the D-rings inside of the bed. I noticed that at delivery. Fortunately, they were able to get that part replaced. It did take them a while to get the part, but it's back there now. As you may have noticed in some of my videos and in Kyle's videos, whenever he came and checked the car out, the driver door would not open a full 90 degrees. This is because the check strap that was installed was not the correct one. All they had to do was get the correct check strap installed and opens a full 90 degrees now. Now, a big one I noticed is whenever I closed my driver front door, it made a terrible noise. It sounded like something was very broken with the car, and honestly kind of embarrassing, especially since so many people look at this car, and every time I get out of the car it makes the worst noise possible. Initially they did think they had to replace the entire door, but they did tell me that they were able to find a fix, and they were able to fix it in this case. I also had to get my front left mud flap replaced for... If you follow the channel, you probably know why. Tesla was able to get that replaced. It just took them a little bit of time to get that part. There's also a rattle and squeak coming from the top of the vehicle. Tesla actually wasn't able to find this concern, which is a little frustrating because I immediately heard it as I started driving home. So I'm not necessarily sure what to say. We went on a drive test, we heard it in the drive test, and they weren't able to replicate it or fix it. That's a little frustrating, and I'm unfortunately gonna have to come back in for that specific concern. Another weird thing that was happening was the driver's seat was rubbing up against the center console. Apparently they had to treat the leather on the console and the backrest and the seat back, and that had fixed the issue. Apparently it will be my responsibility to maintain and treat the interior to keep that from coming back. And kind of a strange and annoying oversight from the design team. I mean, I'm looking at the seat right now and it's pretty clearly rubbing up against the center console. I also have to replace both of my rocker panels because I broke both mud flaps again for... The frustrating thing here is you have to replace the entire rocker panel and not just that rear mud flap. That is incredibly frustrating and another oversight. I can't believe I have to replace the entire rocker panel because I broke a mud flap. It is completely two separate pieces. I even see a part number on the mud flap itself, so I don't really understand why the entire thing has to be replaced, but both of them have to be replaced. And they didn't even have the part in stock, so I will have to come and get that installed during a later visit. Another thing I noticed is that the rear light bar is not aligned with the tail lights. There's a light bar that runs across the tailgate and the rear of the vehicle. I noticed that on the right side it wasn't aligned. Apparently that is a known issue. They were able to get that taken care of and fixed, and it looks great now. Had another strange issue where the plastic trim on the tailgate was rubbing up against the body of the car, making a snapping noise every time I closed the tailgate. Tesla was able to replicate the issue, find that there was a piece not installed correctly, and resolved it. There were also 2 times where the car made a large thunk noise whenever we were supercharging. One time actually happened when Kyle from Out of Spec was down here checking the car out, and another time when I was getting home from filming a Super Bowl ad. Essentially, the car was supercharging and I heard a large thunk noise and the car stopped supercharging. Fortunately, in both times, all I had to do is disconnect the charger and replug it in and there were no issues. I reported this to Tesla. They told me that this has been fixed in the most firmware update and I have not had the issue since. I've also been hearing a large thunk noise towards the front of the vehicle. Tesla was not able to re-replicate that, and it honestly could have been stuff in the back of the bed that was just reverbing in the cabin. I removed a few things from the bed and I have not heard it come back. That being said, I do want to mention, I did not mention this to Tesla whatsoever. They did drive my car and they noticed a good vibration coming from the front of the vehicle. They went ahead and took my wheels off and found that they were really out of balance, but not because the tires are not mounted properly or there's not enough weights. It's actually because there was a lot of mud still on the wheels. That is totally my fault. This is probably whenever we went mudding. I take full responsibility for something like that. As a novice in off-roading, I probably didn't clean the wheels good enough, and that's something that I could do better for next time. I have to give Tesla props for finding this issue without even having me mention it in the service visit and taking care of it, and then letting me know what the issue was. And then lastly, I've been having a lot of drive unit chirping. I'll try and include it in the video. It's a really quiet noise, but essentially whenever I am accelerating or decelerating, you can hear the drive unit make like a whirring noise. It's not the normal noise that a Tesla should be making. Tesla said it may have sounded like a bearing, and they have been working with their engineering team to see what they have to do to resolve the issue. The whole service visit took about a week. They actually wanted to keep it longer than that, but I had actually requested to take it back sooner because I had a lot of things that I had to get taken care of. The only thing that they were working on was the chirping noise, which I had agreed to let them continue investigating on the next service visit. Speaking of next service visits, yes, there is a next service visit. There is that small piece of plastic that they wanted to push my appointment back for. This is that broken bump stop piece. This has been broken since day one. It's supposed to go right here. You'll notice that it's right here on the other side. They're waiting on that part to come in so they can install it. I also have to get my rocker panels replaced. I also noticed that my driver front door is starting to squeak whenever I open and close it. I don't know where the issue came from, and I did hear it before my previous service visit, but I didn't add it to the service visit because I didn't want to add any more time. While I was recording this video, I actually did notice up here that the urethane looks pretty bad. I don't know if you can see it from here, but it does not look very clean, so another thing to add to the next service visit. Another quick note, we've been hearing a lot of stuff about wheel covers. I took mine off. Tesla instructed me to take them off. If you notice, they're indenting the tires, so take them off. This is not very good. Picking up your Tesla from service is also really easy. Your Tesla app tells you that your car is ready for pickup. You head to the service center. If you have a loaner, you drop it off anywhere in the parking lot, and then you put the key card in a drop-off box. After that, all you gotta do is go find your vehicle. The app even helps you find your vehicle. And once you're done, you accept delivery in the app from the service visit, hop in your car, and head out. So overall, my thoughts and impressions about the service visit. I think Tesla still has a way to go with parts. I think that it's somewhat annoying and frustrating that it's taking so long to get some of these parts, especially since I'm in Austin where the car is built. I can't even imagine how long it takes to get parts outside of Austin. I think that's something Tesla needs to take a look at internally to make the customer experience a little smoother and faster. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Tesla Ridgepoint team. You guys are rock stars. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. You guys care a lot about your customers and you care a lot about the cars. All right, that's the video. I appreciate every one of you for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe. One of the videos I'm currently working on is everything I don't like about my Cybertruck, and there is a list. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about and share and give feedback for Tesla so this car gets so much better. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.